up, guys? Welcome to Domination on Mission. I know it's been a while since I made a Domination video. Haven't had too much fun with the lack of DLC support. You know, the file errors, stuff just not working when it comes to these kinds of game types anymore. So, I bring to you guys tonight my idea on what is basically just going to fix our economy up. Now, I know everyone is aware that, well, I don't even know how you're not aware if at this point you're just being ignorant if you have no idea that we're in an economic downturn and that we have a problem when it comes to the future of our country. So basically, I have an idea of what I think is going to fix it, and I don't know why no one else has thought of this, but the first thing that's going to help us is raising taxes. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Oh, you're a fucking idiot. No one ever wants to raise taxes. They'll just get you out of office. No, I don't really care about the office position. Every single president we pretty much I've seen, is so fucking scared of losing their goddamn office position that they just do what they think the people want them to do. And we put people in office to represent us. We don't put people in office because they're good people or something. We put people in office because they're supposed to represent our opinions and our beliefs. People in elected positions in our representative democracy are there to represent our choices and what we want, not about what they want. So when we're writing to them, talking to them about how we don't want them to do something, they just fucking do it anyway because it's what their party wants and they're being pressured into doing it. That's not very representative of us, of our opinions, of our beliefs, of what we want. So here's my idea. And we need to have taxes. That's the only way we're going to make our money back, is taxes. Taxes, we need to cut government programs that we don't need, and we just simply need to get more money and spend less. That's pretty much the easiest way to explain the entire solution. Basically, what I'm saying is that people need to pay the right amount of money in taxes that they actually owe. There are so many loopholes in the tax system that it's ridiculous. I think I heard about Mitt Romney, who was supposed to be paid like 25% taxes on his like $800,000 income and managed to only pay 15% because about half of it wasn't tax eligible. So basically he only made about $300,000, thus making him eligible to pay a really low percentage, even lower than many of us pay. I'm going to give you a statistic. I pay about, for making $7,000 a year at cashier, I pay out about $1,000 in tax. So I don't know if you really want to count that up. That's about, I don't even want to explain it. That's between 10% and 20, and that's over. I'll give you an idea. That's much more than Mitt Romney paid in his taxes for his $800,000 raise. So you can clearly see there's so many loopholes in the tax system that they need to be fixed up right away. But so many loopholes that they're actually costing real Americans, people who are actually working hard, blue-collar job people, and they're making us pay more for the stuff because other people are using these loopholes and getting rich off of it. It's total bullshit. Tax loopholes need to be fixed. Not only that, but there needs to be some better system for determining how much they pay. Right now, we're having, like, in my opinion, there needs to be some kind of ladder-based system. Everyone should be paying a certain percentage based on their income. Let's say you make $100,000 a year, you should be paying, like, and I'm just making this up, I didn't do real math on this, you should be paying, like, 5%. If you make $200,000 a year, you should be paying 6%. $150,000 a year or more, you should, or between $150,000 and $200,000, you should be paying 7%. $150,000 and $200,000, you should be paying 8%. And just have a ladder system. No complex, retarded algorithms, no loopholes. And if you make $1, no matter how it's received, you should have to pay money on it. I don't give a fuck. If you win the lottery and you make $300 million, you can pretty much kiss goodbye about a couple good $10 or $20 million of it. So why is it that whenever anybody else makes even a sliver of money, and it doesn't matter how they make it, but they just keep all of it. It's total garbage. And that's the reason why I feel like our economy is just tanked. It's not just because all the industries stopped producing or failed. It's the reason those industries failed is because people didn't have enough money because they had to pay so much in taxes to replace all the money that people who actually had the millions of dollars didn't pay. That's pretty much it. Also, another thing that we need to fix is the fact that we don't have any, there's over-regulated everything. The reason why we can't get jobs in the country is because everything is outsourced. If you guys notice, every company, or a lot of them, outsource a lot of labor and import goods. And why is this? This is because the countries that the workers are in, the countries the factories are in, don't have as much legislation. What does that mean? Workers can work longer for less pay, no minimum wages they have to worry about, no breaks, no government mandated work rules. They can do whatever they want, they can pay whatever they want, and then no one's going to ask any questions. Now, is that very, that's not very, what's the word? It's not very ethical, but does it happen? Yeah, it happens a lot. You'd be surprised. That doesn't mean that these people in other countries are being treated poorly. It just means that there's less regulation, less safety regulation, less money that needs to be spent on regulation equipment, and all this other sort of stuff. That doesn't mean, just because companies are outsourcing labor doesn't mean they're doing it in a way that's illegal and specifically really, bad working conditions. That just means that they're outsourcing because of the fact that it's cheaper and there's less safety regulations involved. So what has to happen is there needs to be basically a deregulation of the economy. Now, ever since the Great Depression occurred, we've been getting more and more regulation. And basically what happened to fix the Great Depression, the New Deal basically unwrote all that legislation and kind of cleared up everything. So now what we need to do is we need to kind of back off on legislation a bit. The legislation is simply becoming a little bit too obstructive for companies. Basically what's happening is they're being strangled by the fact that they can't make any startups, because anything that, like, they try to make any kind of money and they try to start their business, they can't, because all their money is funneled into making sure everything is safe, making sure that the workplace is following federal regulation and all this other nonsense. It's kind of like copyright. Everyone knows that there was the Stop Online Piracy Act, and one of the main problems I had with that was the fact that basically all the money that you need to put into securing copyrights and securing licenses would basically outweigh in an extreme level the amount of money that you need to start up the business. Let's say you'd be taking out like, nowadays you start a business for $500,000. You can start a business, get premises, all that sort of stuff. Let's say you start up an internet company. It might take you a couple $1 million, $5-10 million in loans to secure licensing copyright fees. It's ridiculous. And that's because of the overregulation of copyright, the overregulation of a lot of things. And if your company fails, well, congratulations. Now you owe like $10 or $20 million in loans, and your life is ruined. So at this point, you need to kind of pray God that your company doesn't fall through. And that is basically the reason why we're not getting any jobs. Unemployment is through the roof because jobs are being outsourced to places where there's less regulation and where companies can actually turn a profit rather than have to spend every dime of their money and profit on trying to make sure the workplace follows the federal regulations. Now, I'm not saying federal regulations are bad. I'm just saying there's far too much of them, and they're strangling the companies. And that's what's causing the unemployment, and in turn, that's what's causing the downturn in the economy. We need to deregulate, increase taxes, make some sort of new tax system, and ensure that everyone pays their fair share of taxes no matter how much money they make. Several federal government what's the word? Damn it, I suck at these things. Several government funded projects need to be just removed. Social Security is going to collapse. Everyone knows this. So there's something we can do about it. This kind of sucks. Anyway, guys, I get this final kill. Watch how quickly I die. Watch. I'm not shot at all. Boom, dead. One fucking shot. My screen's not even red. Anyway, 22-5. Thank you, guys. See you later for my next rant.